Enemy contact! I'm there! No good! Down one of them! On your knee!
What's going on, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another build video. I've got a very special build for you guys today. This is going to be the Unstoppable Rusher build. Now, we need to explain a few things before we get into the build. First and foremost, thanks for all the support from you guys lately. It's been really good. We get it going on for 4,000 subs. It's looking very nice. Thank you for all the support. Alright, so this build, well, really you're going to be using a shotgun. Now, you can spec this build into an SMG, or really anything you want to try and use. Anything that's good at close range. Now, I haven't really made a shotgun build lately, and I've been thinking about it, and it's really strong in PVE. And this is going to be a rusher build where you use it in PVE. Now, it's for PVE content. You can use this in PvP, but the defender drone, which we are going to be using with the shotgun, is not as good as in PvP anymore for good reason. It got nerfed. It used to tank upwards of 2 magazines of an Eagle Bearer. Now, in PvE, it's actually stronger now from the nerf. So I don't know if you guys know what actually happened is they, instead of the drone deflecting all the bullets, which it did in PvP and PvE, and then it would get destroyed very quickly in PvE, so it was very difficult to use. It was strong in PvP, but PvE it would go down very quickly because the NPCs, it would just tank all the damage. Now the drone actually shares the damage and distributes it between the player and the drone, which means the drone lasts longer. Your health actually, your armor goes down while the drone's tanking damage. So the drone ultimately lasts longer in PvE and is more effective in a way, because we're going to be pairing it with the Diamondback rifle, which means that we're going to be reloading our shotgun and gaining the armor back, which we lose from the drone. So I'm sure you guys can see from the gameplay how absolutely strong this is. You can go through an entire challenging mission without taking normal damage. Your drone will be up the entire time. It's unbelievably strong. The BTSU gloves are the reason. So let's get into the specialization, the reasons why, and then get into the build video for you guys. Alright guys, so we're going to be using Survivalist. Now there's a few reasons for that. One being is that Elite Defense is a very underused passive talent. It's very nice. We're going to be getting 15% increased protection from elites. So now the purple guys don't hit as hard, so we actually don't have to worry about them. So this is why we use this. Another thing is the drone has quite a big cooldown, so it takes quite a lot of skill haste, and we can't be speccing completely into skill haste. So we're going to be using crunch time, which is very important to have in this build as well. We'll get 10% skill haste while we are on cover. So when you need to recover the drone, which you won't be doing a lot, maybe in heroic missions, because heroic missions this works pretty well, but you might have to stay in cover a bit more. You cannot just completely rush through a whole section solo. So you might need to go into cover a few times, especially if those the robots come into play. So we're going to make sure all of that is active. Make sure the shotgun, well, this is without being said, the 15% increased shotgun damage. Once that's activated, we're going to be using Survivalist, obviously. So make sure that's active. And we're going to come over here. I want to show you guys something very interesting quickly. So all the shotguns that I had were very low damage. As you can see, 191,000 damage. You can use whatever shotgun you want. The double barrel is pretty effective. Premeditated won't work with this build. I like to use the M870. It's very, very strong. and I use Optimist. You can use whatever talents you want. It doesn't really matter. Allegro is nice to just be able to fire quicker. But here's the thing. Stop, drop, and roll is very nice if you need it, if you get put on burn or bleed, because you're not immune for status effects with this build. So if you get put on fire, you're going to have a difficult time reloading and getting your armor back. So make sure to have this on your shotgun with Allegro. Optimist is just an option. You can have whatever you want. Now, the reason why I went to the crafting bench is because I had very low damage on all my shotguns. I think the highest I had was somewhere like this, like 130k. So now that the crafting bench has been maxed out to level 500, I can craft 191k damage on the bench. So, and it's actually pretty simple because I got about 3 of them after crafting 5. So make sure to have the blueprint. I don't know if you guys do, but we've been buying them from the vendor resets if you've been following me. And as you can see, this one goes to 197. The double barrel goes to 171, and this one goes to 197 as well. So this is very good. We can use whichever one you want. I prefer to use the M870s from my previous videos as well. They're very underused and very strong. So make sure you craft one with at least 190k damage, and we'll be hitting NPCs for 100,000 damage every shot. It's very, very strong with the headshots. Just saying, it is headshot damage that you'll be getting that from. So this is the build. So it's going to be a 2-10-9. So we want to focus on having a kind of a tanky skill power hybrid build, and we're going to be using the shotgun, obviously. The Diamondback is perfect for this because when your armor's running low from all the tanking of the damage from the drone, sharing it as well. Shedding skin is going to be great. So well holstered. Gain plus 8% bonus armor for 2 seconds. So whenever you're reloading your shotgun, because it has quite a few shells, you're going to be getting a lot of armor back, and it doesn't have to last for long. 2 seconds is enough because we're going to be always taking damage at all times. So it's very strong. Don't be fooled by the 2 seconds. It really does work, as you saw from the clips in the beginning. So the mask. This is a mask that I always use. I like to use this mask because it's got 8% health, Murakami Industries, and 5% rolled with 45% damage to elites, which is very high. If you don't have that, unlucky. You can just use whatever damage to elites you need, but you need to have it on there. Hard hitting is the one that we want to go for the mask as well. So, chest piece now, 8k health, 23k armor. As you guys can see, I haven't re-rolled this, and the stats are still good. I've got 313k armor, 64k health, and 1700 skill power. 8k health. I could roll that away for 30% armor. So this build could be pushed to the next level, but I don't have the correct pieces to re-roll it. But you guys could get upwards of 350k armor, probably even more. Maybe 370, 380k. So you can be a lot more tanky, but you will find that you don't really need to do this. Now I've tested this with, full DPS, maybe going for something like a 7, like 4 and 8, something like that. But it really does work better when you have a bit more tankiness. Unstoppable Force will be the talent. We're going to be pairing that with hard hitting. That's why I'm using the Fenris chest piece. Now we're going to be getting a lot of damage, up to 15% extra damage from this, because we're going to be constantly killing NPCs. Even if you play solo, you'll two-shot these challenging NPCs. On heroic, maybe 3-4 shots, but you can do it pretty quick with a lot of effectiveness. It's very strong. So make sure to have these talents. The headshot damage is ideal because we can hit the headshots. It's not that difficult to do that. Then on the holster, the reason why we're using an ongoing directive is because we get 4 utility slots, and this gives us 90% extra, utility for the BTS U-Gloves, which we will get into in a second. So make sure you have that. Now, when you roll this holster, try get the best rolls, obviously, but we're going to be using a Firefly and a Defender drone. So try and get Firefly skill power and drone skill power with all of your utility mod slots to further increase the skill power of those skills, so we can put the good mods on them. Backpack. Yulagard backpack. 20% hazard protection is actually very strong. We like that. The 5% armor from the one piece. 6.5% health. 20.5% total armor. Very nice backpack with 441 skill power. Efficient's very good because we want to be popping a lot of medkits. Because as you guys saw from the gameplay, a lot of times the drone won't be tanking enough, sometimes especially on heroic missions, and you need to pop your medkits. This gives us a lot more medkits because we get 50% chance to not actually consume it. So it's very, very good for this build. It works perfectly with it. Hardened, that goes without being said, to try and get a bit more extra armor because, like I said at the beginning of the video, the drone doesn't tank all the damage. So BTSU gloves, make sure to do this. Camp White Oak, farm that mission. I only did it 4 times and got it. Then I recalibrated them for gear score 500. Make sure to do that, guys. So this will give us 90% skill damage, 90% healing, repair, and duration. The duration is very important because we want the drone to be up as long as it can possibly be to able to run through all the difficult content of the game. Then on the knee pads, we're going to be 15k armor, hard hitting as a talent, very strong. Once again, we are stacking armor. It's a very potent build. So let's get into the skills. So well, first and foremost, let me show you guys the stats. So don't worry about anything else here. Everything's active as it should be. Weapon damage 191,000, headshot damage 54%. We've got decent amount of reload speed, 10% is nice. Then we've got, now the thing is shotgun damage bonus. I have only got 15%, but the way that this build works, we want to be increasing our survivability with the skills, so we don't need to have that ridiculous amount of damage, because remember, Unstoppable Force will give us extra damage as well. And you'll be hitting very hard, because it's pretty easy to hit headshots. Now on console, I know you have aim assist as well, because I played console for many years, so that will help you a lot as well to hit the headshots. Going down, we've got all the hazard protection. That's going to help us a little bit, especially from the, the fire and or the burning. But we do have stop, drop, and roll, so we can roll away all the status effects every 60 seconds. So that's going to help towards making this build go even further. 15% skill haste. Now that's not really that important, because the drone, when you proc it, you're going to want to wait for it to come back for the next time. So that's why we'll be getting into cover using the crunch time to get our 10% extra, skill haste, which will go towards this. So it's very strong. It does come back very quickly. And because we've got some decent skill haste mods on the drone, which I will be showing you, it can be very good. So as you can see, 2888 skill power on the drone, which is good. It allows me to put all of my mods active. Now, if you have better mods, which I don't, utility mods, you can increase this to over 3,000 very easily. So you'll be able to put any kind of mods that you guys want to put on it. Then we're going to be using the Firefly 2764, pretty close to that as well. I can put like 130% skill haste mods on it, which I will be showing you now. So here we go. Firefly. We have got an auxiliary battery, because I just don't have the right mods for this one. You guys will probably have better mods than me, so that just helps me to further boost it even further. So we got 3 max targets, which allows you to blind all the enemies. So when you get into an engagement, you blind a whole bunch of guys, 6 targets, and then you can rush them while they're still blinded. Before they get out of the blind status, you'll already have killed them. So that is very important for this build. You could go for skill haste, but trust me, 20-second cooldown is more than enough, because you're going to be so busy destroying them with your shotgun. 133 skill haste, which is very, very nice. I couldn't get my 185. That's due to my utility mod, so you guys can make this better. I'm sure you can see that. Remember, guys, my builds are not min-maxed, and I only do what I have. If I could get better mods, the RNG is not on my side, but you can see the potential this build has. So it's going to do very well. You can enter every single room of NPCs and not even take that much damage with your drone, Firefly, blinding them, running through, and just demolishing them with your shotgun. This build is very, very, very good. And I'm going to say that right now. It's very fun to use as well. It's just a fun, it really is just a fun build that actually works. So this is where it gets a bit interesting. Now, unfortunately, guys, I do not have the right mods for my drone. As you can see, I've got drone skill power on there. Unfortunately, I couldn't make any of these other ones active. I just need more skill power from my utility mods. I don't have the right mods. You could go for more skill power with this build and get these mods active, but funny enough, this drone by itself with the BTSU gloves is just so strong. I didn't really notice a difference. I took all the mods off and it was still very potent. That's why I didn't spec more skill power into my build. That's why I just kept it the way it was, because it was kind of on a sweet spot level. So you can do some changing around, maybe add some more skill power to get these active. It depends what mods you have. Maybe you guys have only got these purple ones, so it depends what you've got. Then if we look over here, as you can see, I've only got one mod for this, for the feed slot. So that's very unfortunate, but it is duration, which is very nice. And then over here we have got skill haste, 76%. So the cooldown is it's actually very high. But I promise you guys, this drone stays up most of the time. It's very effective. You can push the cooldowns if you would like to, but like I said before, I like to have a bit of tankiness. You can change this, the knee pads, maybe put something like this, would be great, calculated on the knee pads. You can change it up, or even capacitive, it'll give you more skill duration for your drone. Go crazy, do whatever you want to do. It's up to you guys, but I mean, to be honest, this would probably be perfect knee pads for this, but I don't want to go less armor. I feel like I've got it at the right level. This would give us 42% skill haste, so it's very easy to get the skill haste back, but for some reason I don't feel like you need it, because when you actually end up destroying your drone, it doesn't get destroyed, and if it does, you have like I find to have like a 40 something second cooldown, so whatever it says on the drone. It's actually quite wrong, as you can see from the clips. It comes back pretty quick when you get into cover, so don't worry about that, but you can alter this build to whatever, however you like. This build is extremely fun to use, very potent. You can just rush all the NPCs you want, shoot them in the face while hardly taking any damage. It's really, really strong, and the defender drone needs to be used more. I really enjoy this build, and I hope you guys do. So make sure to give it a try. Leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you guys did like it, and I will be seeing you agents in the next video. Peace out, boys.